He stands in memory before the nation a stricken leader, humiliated and scorned, looked upon by his fellow countrymen with contempt and revulsion. He stands alone, almost friendless, with only a few who would say a kind word in his behalf. He asked for prayer and understanding, but was compelled to resign and reduced to an object for reluctant pardon. His destruction was a moment of triumph for many, but a season of sorrow for our country, for in that moment the soul of our nation was diminished. His guilt of treason never, for no man dare question his patriotism. Of high crimes, no, for his accomplishments were equivalent with respect. Of misdemeanors, no, for his life was his service to his country, and that service was honor. In actuality, his guilt was to be human to err in judgment, to procrastinate in the presentment of truth. But in the end, the evidence presented against him was his own and would have been destroyed by a less honorable man. He was condemned to this ire by a press, turned from impartial presentation of news to molder of opinion and public prosecutor, to breed and nurture a strange journalistic malady, alien to a free press, which confused our people, weakened the presidency, forced our politicians into self-righteous hypocrisy, and finally seduced the people into drinking deeply of his blood in America's first politico-journalistic crucifixion. In candor, let it be recorded that the sole issue of his ordeal as established by the press were his motives, yet who would deny that the motives of a man are manifest in his accomplishments and are so entwined that man through his works becomes immortal. The works of this man cannot evade the light of history, nor can the deeds of his oppressors. His character embraced the courage to mine Haiphong Harbor and entrust the cries and anguish of Vietnam to the stillness of the past, but in moral conviction would not sign a politically expedient peace until the return of the prisoners was assured. He served his country and the Constitution in obedient and illustrious service, from congressman to senator to vice president to president. He repelled nuclear blackmail, secured peace, and attained respect throughout the world for this nation, which would now dishonor him. In truth, who is worthy of justice? Was he so ambitious, his deeds so vile, that he be repaid with humiliation and disgrace for himself and his family forever? In fairness, have we served our country more properly? Are we more morally pure, or has the spirit of our people become so callous that our soul has no voice to remind those among us who have judged him sanctimoniously that hate is a deceiver, often cloaked in righteousness, and if the heart of our people has no conscience to restrain those who could not forgive nor pardon, but sought his abject destruction, and would now defame his memory to vindicate their actions against him, then may God forgive them, for their destiny is a cause for pity. To them there is neither rest nor victory, for death will but enhance his stature. As for those who have no spokesman but dissent in silence, reserve your tears for those who so dishonor him in our time. For when the accomplishments of Richard Nixon are weighed upon humanity's unerring scales, he will not be denied, for his deeds were the fiber from which the cloak of immortality is woven, and the good that he did will cry forth for 1,000 years to indict and demand of this generation, why?